Hey guys, so I'm going to talk to you about LLMs and their different use cases. So an LLM, large language model, which is behind any generative AI that you use, so ChatGPT, Claude, Grok, Gemini, these are all LLMs. And these LLMs can do a broad amount of things, but a lot of LLMs have specific things that they are very, very good at. And people have gone out of their way to benchmark these things for you. So that way you don't have to go through the benchmarking process on your own. And I'm going to talk about benchmarking LLMs for different use cases, but I want to focus on firstly looking at other people's benchmarking. So that way when you are starting a project and deciding, hey, these are the models I want to go with, you have an understanding of the process you should go through in order to determine what is going to be the best possible language model for you to move forward with. Now, as I mentioned, all these different LLMs are broadly good at many things, right? They have billions and billions, but some are better at certain things. So where I am right now is called LM Arena. And it is literally just a big dashboard, essentially, for you to go through and benchmark or look at benchmarks of all the LLMs, right? So they'll have this breakdown for you, but you can really just hit overview and it's going to give you a leaderboard overview. And so you'll see there's different categories: text, web dev, vision, text to image, search, image, editing, text to video, all these different categories, right? And so let's say you are automating copywriting. And so that probably doesn't involve web dev or, vision or search. It may, right? Search may be one step. So in a multi-step agent, you would want to make sure you're choosing the best for search. But the best for actual writing and text may not be that same model. So this is why it's good to understand the best of each category and not just the best broadly. So text, Gemini 2.5 Pro is smoking everyone, right? And you can click on it, it'll open up for you, actually take you into AI Studio, and then you can play with it if you actually click on the different ones here, right? So Gemini 2.5 and Claude are the best for this. And that's just broad knowledge, right? Everyone knows that Gemini and Claude are the best for like copywriting assistance. GPT-5, low on the list. I'm going to be honest. GPT-5, it's good, but it takes a lot of context for it to actually interpret what you're telling it. I think the way that you mean it. And I think GPT-5 is honestly not as hot of a model as it should have been. That's neither here nor there. Different time, different story. So text, best is Gemini, best is Claude right now. Claude has had a stronghold on this for a while. So I think they're going to continue to be a top player, but Gemini has been killing it. Now, when it comes to web development, Claude, again, is killing it. Claude is always towards the top, and they may be the best broad model. And we'll take a look at that on a different platform, which is going to reinforce what I just said there. GPT-5 is the highest for web dev right now. At one point, it was Gemini 2.5, but Claude has always, well, not always, but over the last year or so, really had a stronghold on the web dev side of things. So if you are vibe coding something, let's say you are selling people websites and you're using Lovable or Cursor. Well, maybe you don't want to use DeepSeek if you know that Claude Opus is better, or even Sonnet 4.5 is better, or maybe GPT-5 is the absolute best right now. So, and you can always test around and play with them. But vision, so looking and interpreting things, Gemini 2.5. And I think they just have such a large library of images and videos. It's kind of hard to beat kind of the NLP and analysis that goes into like Google as a whole. So I think that's why they're smacking everyone there, like significantly smacking everyone. And then we have text to image. Google's up top there. I actually haven't heard of this company. So what's nice is you can click on them and it'll just take you to them to play with. So that's an open source model. Gemini's up there. We love Gemini. Imagine 4, Gemini 2.5 Flash is great. 2.5 Pro is good. I think they're about to put out a Nano Banana too, which is interesting. Anyways, so yeah, Google's up top. I think Google's the best for images, honestly. I really have no other recommendations. Google's smoking everyone. There's other platforms you can use that will allow you to like plug LLMs in, and generally you'll go with a Google model if you're generating images. I mean, ChatGPT is pretty good at it. Sora is good at video, but I don't think ChatGPT is all that crazy at images. So image editing. So Gemini 2.5. Again, I heard that in Nano Banana 2, there's going to be some nasty image editing where instead of it regenerating an entire image, it's going to allow you to specifically point out exact spots as if you were actually editing in like Photoshop and give specific prompt edits to specific things. It'll just adjust those things. So like expand the brick wall, make the sun brighter, whatever the case may be. Like you'll be able to give it those specific things and it won't change the whole image. I'm very interested to see that. But again, Google just is the top dog in image generation. Now, Quinn, they make some good images. Flux, I've seen Flux. Really, just for broad, regular use, Gemini and Google are smoking everyone. Now, when it comes to search, I do think that search is up to interpretation. Grok, I think if you're looking for real world, like as of right now, to the second knowledge on things, Grok is the best because everyone is on Twitter all day talking. And so everything is up to date, up to speed, and has like a public sentiment understanding, right? Everything goes on to X. And so when it comes to search, it's pretty good, especially once you mix in like web search capability. Like it's pretty good. So Grok is good. I actually like GPT-5 a lot for search. I think it's pretty knowledgeable. It's pro modes. It's advanced thinking. I like it. So when it comes to like search, if you're doing analysis or auditing, Grok is good. I think GPT-5 has a very good broad knowledge base, but when it comes to communication, 4.0 is still smoking GPT-5, like in terms of context and interpretation. Just my opinion. Text to video, VO3, bro. No one's beating VO3. Sora's alright, I guess. But VO3 is just killing everyone. Now, Kling is something you should watch for. Kling has a nasty model, and they're making some really good videos. And so I would look at Kling if you're doing text to video. But in terms of just like, consumer can go on without a bunch of knowledge and use video creation platform utilizing AI, VO3 is going to be the best. And 3.1, 3, those are going to be your best models. Again, image to video, VO3 is the best in my opinion. C-Dance is popular. I've heard of C-Dance. I've seen some of C-Dance's stuff. It's not bad. I just personally love VO3. Google is just beating everyone when it comes to this. And then Kling, of course, they have another good image video, and I think they'll just keep it getting better. Now, when it comes to copilots, right? Let's say I have a large database with some data architecture behind it, and I'm going to use MCP to communicate between database and an LLM to be able to do AI customer support, for example. This copilot space is where you want to pay attention, right? And so, Maestro, they have a popular model for this. Gemini is a popular model. GPT is popular. Let's go scores, high to low. Yeah, so DeepSeek's up there. Claude is up there. Maestro, Gemini. So, it's really up to interpretation on this one, too, and preference. I would really play around with it. And, yeah, I mean, this is kind of just how I pay attention to this. I stay up to date, and I just look at, what's coming out. Now, Additional to this, I actually play around with the models. And so we use OpenRouter a lot. And if you haven't used OpenRouter, it is really where you should be using LLMs, in my opinion, because you can load up credits into the account. But then, aside from that, you can actually play around with all the different LLMs and benchmark them live yourself. So featured models here, I could just go here and start talking to any of them, and it breaks down the cost or the usage for the different APIs, performance, uptime, all of that stuff. So I really like OpenRouter, and I think it's the best in my opinion. They also do their own rankings, and so their leaderboard right now, Claude. But you have to remember, a lot of people are using this for coding, right? This is a dev and kind of AI platform where you are implementing this as your API key, and this is the source of your LLM API versus using OpenAI directly or Claude directly. You're in here. So it'll go over market share, different categories, what they're hot for, all these different things here. Now, what I want to do mostly is go to the models. If you look at models, what this is going to show you is the most recent released models here. And then over on the left side here, you can see that you can actually go through and filter. So let's say I'm making voice agents. Well, audio is probably important for me. And so pricing doesn't matter a ton to me. Categories, role play, I like, because it is kind of role play in that aspect where we're talking to people, role play marketing. And then let's go supported parameters, tools. So I want to be able to have tools here, providers, all that stuff. So sort newest. So there is this 2.5 Flash model from September. It'll give you the details on it, people using it. So good for marketing and SEO, legal, role-play marketing, technology. It'll tell you about it. World-class model, has great thinking capabilities. And so if I want to compare this, I can say, okay, I want to compare Gemini 2.5 to, let's say, Moonshot. So Moonshot is a new model, and let's do the other Moonshot, the Kimi K2 Thinking. So Moonshot is a new model out of China, I believe, and it's got a huge context window. I know this context length is a bit longer. I didn't mean context window, I meant data set. They say there's over 1 trillion. Let's see if it has it in here. Just reading through here. I saw somewhere, okay, there's 32 billion parameters. Oh, built on 1 trillion parameters. So, yeah, it's a massive model. And if we want to compare them, we can look at them side by side, right? So this will break things down to me. Let's minimize this. And guys, this is really so that you can benchmark and make sure you're using the best possible models when you're building projects, whether you have your own company and you have internal AI projects, whether you're doing AI for other companies, whether you're arbitraging, whatever the case is. This is what I like to do, and this is what we do internally in our operation. So inputs, 30 cents per million, 55 per million, 25 too. So they're really not that far off. This one's a little more expensive on inputs, but it's cheaper on outputs for this Moonshot. So let's say I actually want to test, hey, it's great, I can see this, but what is data going to do for me? So let's chat with them. And if we hit chat, it'll allow us to actually benchmark different use cases. So I think these are both supposed to have pretty good capabilities for a multitude of things, but it should have good kind of role play. So let's see if there is a role play kind of option in here, plan, how many R's? So let's do this. Let's compose a 12-line poem, just to see. So what you'll see is that it's going to go through and you'll be able to see both generate. You can see both of them reasoning, right? So here's the reasoning, the user asks, interpretation, and so you can see the same thing up here. Okay, so Google's done. Kimmy is still going. It's really going, right? Google's done. It's been done for a few seconds. And Kimmy is not. It is still going, line. And so Kimmy is really thinking about this. Let's review Gemini. So, slowly awakening, nature accepts autumn, dark outlines hang above. All my memories are newly. All my blue. I hate this. Let me be honest. I hate this poem. Whatever Gemini just made, I hate. So, it is still going. Wow, this is my first time using Kimmy, so we're actually seeing the live benchmarking happening here. It is going deep. It's like, wow. Wow. I wasn't expecting it to go this crazy, if I'm being honest. I'm actually interested here to see what happens. What is going on? What is it talking about here? Guys, I'm going to be honest. I paused it for 30-45 seconds just so it could finish up. And it's still going. So I'm very curious to see what output happens from this. Because, I just asked for a simple 12-line poem. And it is, thinking about every single character, every single punctuation, abbreviation. But it's also talking about Bangladesh and a bunch of other stuff. I don't know what kind of poem it's whipping up right now. And AI can do interesting things sometimes. So either this might be an amazing poem, or I may just be wasting credits, right? But it's worth it to know if this is good or not. I mean, this could write the most banger poem. I hated this Gemini one. So this flash preview, I didn't really like this. I don't know what it's talking about. I think it's about to give me a final here? No. I really have no clue, guys. So, let's give it a second. Let's come back when this is done, because this might take a few minutes. I mean, it is the thinking model, so I understand why it's thinking so hard. Alright, guys, I'm going to be honest. I have to stop this. I don't even know what it's talking about. I have no clue what it is talking about. It's just taking forever. I'm sure this model is great for something, but it's not great for writing poems. Or maybe it's great for writing poems for people who have more patience than I do. But if I had this in a workflow and we needed to do something quickly, this isn't built on speed, right? Now, if I was wanting to do a deeper research project or an audit, I'm thinking Kimmy K2 thinking is a banger. So I'll have to test that for that use case. But yeah, you can go around to the different chats. You can look at flagship models, right? And it'll let you automatically compare those. If you go back to chats, you can do roleplay models. So I want to see the best. Write me an opening line for a customer service inbound inquiry for a dental office in Phoenix, Arizona. So it's DeepSeek, it's Gemini, it's Maestro, and they're supposed to be good at roleplay, right? So let's see what they put out for good opening lines. Now, they all went through pretty quickly. So DeepSeek gave us a few. It said, thank you for reaching out to dental office name in Phoenix AZ. How may we assist you today? Then they gave us a warmer option. So 2 options, hello and welcome. We're happy to hear from you. How can we make your visit exceptional? So I'm not mad at either. Any of these are pretty good. There are a few options, and this is from Gemini. Hello, thank you for calling blank in Phoenix. How may I help you? Good morning. welcome to blank in sunny Phoenix, Arizona. How can I assist you? You've reached blank. How can we help you? So, they're good. Honestly, I like this second one from DeepSeek, but let's see what Maestro had. Good morning. Thank you for calling Phoenix Smiles Dental Office. How may we assist you today? Again, that's not bad. All of them are pretty similar, right? I didn't give them crazy in-depth prompts. But let's see. Yeah, I think this is my favorite. So in this instance, DeepSeek gave me my favorite response. Write me a follow-up sequence for if I respond to their inquiry, but they never respond back. So let's see. Let's say we want to turn it into a sequence. So people ghost me and I want to hit them back up. Now Gemini's thinking. DeepSeek is processing. Maestro is doing its thing. So it actually wrote. Okay, so let's look at what Maestro wrote. So Maestro kept it pretty short. So hello, are you still there? Here to help. I'm not sure I'm still on the line. Give you a call back. I apologize. So I guess these are all right. Now what Gemini did, and it's still thinking, but it looks like Gemini put together actual email follow-ups and gave us a sequence. So more so what I asked for, right? I asked for a follow-up sequence. So 2 to 3 business days after your initial response, general reminder, subject lines, they gave options, and then it gave us email body. Hope this finds you well, just following up on your recent inquiry, blank, 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 all of this stuff, right? Then it gave us a second one to send 5 to 7 days after, subject lines, bodies, third one, and then some tips, right? So I actually like what Gemini provided us. Now let's look at what DeepSeek provided. So they gave us a 3 email follow-up sequence, 1 subject line, send 3 to 5 days after. Wanted to follow up, did you receive? Next step. Okay. So this is good too. Now you'll notice this uses like emojis. Google uses no emojis. It's a little, they're a little bit longer. Sentence structure is a little bit more, but these ones are a little like shorter and more concise. So depending on what your goal was, right? If you're noticing that short emails are getting you more attention or longer, more direct emails are getting you attention, it would determine what direction you want to go here. So this is what I do. I do this for hours and hours every single week. And if you're in the AI implementation space, where you're using AI for very certain use cases, then this is something that you should be taking a couple hours out a week to do. Now, it's work. It is work, but it's also fun. I have fun. I'll ask the AI all the crazy things that, I ask ChatGPT on my phone, but I'll get to see what all the different models are thinking about. And I'm a very curious person, so I'm asking questions all the time. And so it's actually amazing for me because instead of just getting one question, I get, to ask one question, but I get 3 or 4 different responses. So I get all kinds of different positioning and angles, and it's amazing. So yeah, I mean, this is quite literally one of the most important things that you could do if you're involved in an AI agency, internal AI implementation, really, even if you're using AI manually, right, to write one-off emails. Maybe it's not in an automation. It's good to benchmark. Maybe one LLM just happens to give you the better email that day, and that's what gets it done. And so this is something I highly recommend. I recommend paying attention to both LM Arena and to OpenRouter. In OpenRouter, you can get in, you just load in whatever amount of credits you want to load in, and you can get going. So I highly recommend doing this, and I hope that this video has been able to bring you some level of value, so that way next time you're looking at creating some variation of an AI solution, you can go through this same steps and processes to be able to successfully dial in and determine what LLMs you want to use, what LLMs are best for what use cases, and really ultimately what direction you're going to go with your workflows, automations, and implementations. So if you found this helpful, please let me know, and I would love to continue to bring knowledge and education that helps move our AI journey forward. So if you have any questions, please ask them, and I would be happy to make another video just like this on your questions about implementations and tools and platforms. Look forward to talking to you guys again here soon.